Welcome, Joe here, Perfect Partners Equine.
And Penny.
Well, today we're going to watch Buddy. We're working in the round pen, and the things that I want to know is how can he handle ropes and outside pressure. I see so many people where they have a 22-foot lead rope, the one with the ring on it, and they're always nice and clean. So folks don't always know what to do with it. Well, I want to use the ropes around the legs, around his waist, his midsection. I want to use them to put pressure on or put them in, make a puzzle for my horse to learn how to deal with pressure, find their way out of a predicament or a stressful situation by stopping and relaxing. So I believe what I've got here is a rope. I've got it looped around the saddle horn, and I might go back to his leg. Let's see I can't remember exactly what I was doing here. We'll see in a minute. But use the ropes in a way so that it puts pressure on him. Yeah, I've got it around his back leg and looped up over the saddle horn, so it's like a little pulley, so it puts pressure on his back leg when I put pressure on the rope. Now it's not tied to his leg, but when I pull on the rope, it puts pressure on his leg to lift it and pull it forward. So it kind of takes his foot away from him. But being it's not tied to his leg, it's tied to the saddle horn, then loop back up around the saddle horn, I can release it when he stops moving. Now the goal is to put pressure on him, let him figure it out, and when he stops and relaxes, release the pressure. That's teaching him how to handle a situation without fighting, struggling, or causing harm to himself. As if you're riding down the trail and for some reason your horse's leg got wrapped around a vine, or you had your lead rope tied to your saddle horn or your saddle and it came undone, you didn't know it got wrapped around their leg. You don't want them to respond like this, like Buddy's doing right now. That's what you want. You want them to relax and give and wait till they find so that they can find relaxation, stop moving their feet so that you can help them.
Yes, and this is a great thing for any horse and every horse to learn to keep them safe. Because I guess this is how you would start to hobble train.
It's exactly how I start the hobble train. And I would rather set this up in the round pen or a safe area where I had control over my horse so that I know that I've taught them how to respond. So I'm not guessing, hoping that they'll respond this way. They've been taught to respond this way. Now, you can't always guarantee what their first reaction will be, but if you set them up and yourself up to be successful by teaching them it's okay when you're trapped to relax, that's when the pressure will give, or the pressure will release when you stop moving your feet and relax. I think I'm still doing it here on the back foot, then you can move it to a front foot. I only did everything on one side of Buddy today. So today I was just working on his left side. So you can take that same rope, loop it around the saddle horn, put it through your bottom of your stirrup. Then as you send your horse around, you can pick the stirrup up and down, flap it from a distance so that one, you're safe, and two, it's putting pressure on them, and you can build from a walk, trot, and canter and do these things so that you know that they can handle the pressure, because we need to put them under pressure to learn how to deal with it so that they don't have a panic moment when things do happen to them. We have to prepare them. And as with anything, I do walk, and I'll do a trot, and I'll do a canter. I want to build to it. So if it's not going good at a walk, don't trot. Get it good at a walk. If it's falling apart at a trot, don't go to a canter. Get it good at a trot. Because with speed, it all falls apart.
Now, is your goal here when you flap it for him to stop? Is that what is that what you're asking, or do you want him to keep moving?
Well, I want him to stop at first. Then eventually I'll be able to keep moving because this is Buddy's first day doing this.
Okay.
So I don't want to put too much pressure on him at one time, but I want to put enough pressure on him so that I know that he's been challenged. I'm always looking to challenge them. Where can I push him to? Out a little bit outside of his boundary, or boundaries that he set, that he can figure out how to deal with the pressure. Because we can't control pressure or outside pressure while we're riding or going places. All we can do is help them find a way to deal with it. Now I'm using his left front foot. So the same thing I did with the left hind, I've done with the left front. I've got the rope looped around his ankle, looped up over the saddle horn. And then I'll get him to walk along, and then I'll take his foot away from him by putting pressure and picking his foot up. As you see, if his foot's down on the ground, I really can't get it. I got to wait till he picks his foot up, then I can take it away. If you don't have a Western saddle, you can use an English saddle. Get a double-sided clip and a ring, and clip it somewhere high on your saddle where the rope can go up and loop through. Or you can use a surcingle. That works just as well. The Western saddle with a saddle horn is just very convenient. Now this is a puzzle. You'll see him work his way through, and I don't release the pressure till he quits moving his feet and stands. But it's easiest to pick that foot up when he's picking his foot up to move it forward. And he's got it. You can see him trying to figure his way through this puzzle. Now the thing is, you see how he turned and looked to me? Be ready, because that's what they do in a lot of cases. When they get trapped or feel like they're trapped, they'll turn and look to you and maybe come to you, or maybe come and try to come over top of you to find safety. So be aware of that. That's why I have my stick and string in my hand, so that I can kind of re-divert him if I need to, or step out of his way. If I can't step out of his way, I can kind of help protect my space and push him out of my way. And it's just a matter of him figuring out how to deal with his foot being trapped and lifted off the ground, which is not what normally happens to him. And again, I would rather take a little bit of time and set this up at home and know that my horse can handle this, instead of hoping that they can handle it. It's kind of, is my horse ready to ride? Well, once we start getting this done, I know my horse will be ready to ride. Now, it's really cool because little buddy, he's always looking to me to see if what he was doing was right. And that's kind of, it's going to take a little intuition on your part to notice when they ask that question. Am I doing right? Take the moment, rub and pet them, tell them that they were good. And also, use your breath. So when they do stop and relax, you breathe out and relax with them. Now, like I always say at most of my clinics, it's hard to find a place to start. The first place to start is to release the pressure the minute their feet, or let's say not the minute, the second their feet quit moving, and then repeat that several times. I try to do things in threes. I'll do the left front foot 3 times, then I'll move on to something else. Same thing with the left hind. I'll do it 3 times. Now, there's more to do with that rope, and in subsequent video, I'll show you some more to do with it in different places to get them used to it. But in this video, I'm showing you how to use the flank rope. Now, if you're not comfortable with the flank rope always goes over their back from the side you're using and down under the belly. That way, when you release, it's like a dog choke chain. It automatically releases. This is something that can be pretty dramatic, but if you go slow and take your time, you can deal with it.
Yeah, this is a good thing to do with your horse. All horses of any ages. It's very interesting to see how different ones respond. And getting them to have the correct response can really be beneficial if you ever get in a position to where they have a rope around them or something's happening. They're not going to go into they're going to learn not to buck. They're going to learn to stop.
Because Buddy's already been riding. He's got a front cinch, a front girth, a rear cinch. He's used to the pressures around him, but now we're going to put pressure around his flank. Flank is where your horse keeps their emotions. The flank rope will help teach them how to control their emotions. Now, at a walk, he did great. Notice I only sent him out for a few steps before I picked up the flank rope. Before I send him out, I make sure the flank rope's loose around his flank. And when I do pick it up, I'm picking it up and only adding ounces of pressure. I'm not pulling. And notice that it's a lift. I'm lifting to close the flank rope around his flanks. And when he quits moving his feet, that's when I release. Now, he needed a little help there. Don't be afraid to give him a little help. And take your time and get it good at a walk. Because I'll show you. He looks like he's got it good at a walk, doesn't he? But it's not. He's just starting to get there. So as I pick up a jog, we'll see what he does with a jog. As I lift that flank rope, I'm going to wait till I get around here so y'all can see. Lift the flank rope. He's becoming uncomfortable. He's looking to me for guidance, assistance, and security. I'm having to push him back out. And I'm going to send him back around. But at the jog, it wasn't as confident as at the walk.
And you're not trying to pull on it to make him do something, but you're trying to pull on it to see if he'll do something, right?
Right, to get him used to things being around his flank, putting pressure on him so that he can work through the situation and deal with it. Learn how to deal with it. This is teaching, not training. I'm teaching him how to deal with it. There's a big difference between teaching and training. I teach it first, then we train by doing repetitions. Repetitions also teach.
And you're not just wanting him to shut down and go internal and just take it.
That's right. I'm wanting him to learn how to deal with it. So a little puzzle. How do you get me to release the pressure around your flank? The correct answer is stop bucking, quit moving your feet, stand still, and relax. So the minute he quit, that's when I release, or let's say quit moving his feet. The second he quits moving his feet is when I release the pressure. The slower you start the pressure, the less response you'll get. So if you're tentative about doing this, to get it really good at a walk, under light pressure, and then slowly increase the pressure. But I'd rather know that my horse will respond this way than guess about it while I'm riding. Because this really teaches your horse to be emotionally stable and emotionally capable of handling other pressures.
Because when you're out on the trail, it's not, the arena's a safe place. When you go out of those gates, it can get, you don't ever know what you're going to get into. And you don't want them to have that bucking reaction to anything if it was to get up underneath them or back under there. Because that could be bad if you get bucked off on the trail. Oh, look, see, now that would have been, that'd be hard to ride. Oh, wow. I wouldn't want to have to ride that.
But I would rather teach my horse that bucking's not the answer, but stopping, standing, and relaxing is. If you want a horse to learn or how to teach a horse to spook in place, this is step one.
So this is another good example of a horse that was being ridden, but was never really, had no foundation to start with.
And don't be afraid of trying this. There's a lot going on here. If you're not good with your ropes, stick and string, because I'm holding two ropes, I'm managing two ropes and my stick and string. If you're struggling with it a little bit, really, really get good at the walk And if you need help, come to one of our clinics and I'll be happy to help you, guide you through, or at least get you started to where you can manage this, because there's a lot going on there. You're holding the lead rope, keeping him going forward. I'm holding the flank rope, keeping that from dragging the ground, and picking it up, keeping him going forward without coming over top of me, holding the stick and string, trying not to pull on the flank rope, just keeping ounces of pressure on, and waiting for him to quit. The whole key to this is not release the pressure while they're bucking, but release the pressure when they stop and stand still.
Now, is this something that if you've, even if you've done this before and worked with your horse, is it something you'd want to revisit occasionally?
Absolutely. Yeah, because there's times where I'll take Tough out and at liberty just use the flank rope as he goes around me. I want them to be ultra confident with their flanks, because usually that's where a horse has their most they harbor most of their insecurities, worries, and problems. It's all in the flank, because that's where their most vulnerable area is. So we need to help them work through their vulnerabilities.
And that's where their emotions come from?
That's where the emotions
rear end,
live.
the flanks?
You bet.
Hind end?
So notice I did a lot of rubbing and petting, a lot of time waiting on him to relax, showing him that I bought that stick just to rub and pet him. But notice how he's walking now. His little head's down. He's going forward. He's getting more confident. His circles are going around me are getting better too, aren't they? More relaxed, more forward.
And he's such a sweet little fella. You wouldn't think he'd have all that bucking in him because he's so sweet. But that's just his natural instinct.
It's every horse's natural instinct. Sometimes, now that's the response I want. Right there. Stop moving your feet. Hurry up. Wait. I'll come save you.
And I think we're getting close to the end of that, aren't we?
I think so.
Yeah, well, this is a good place to stop. Thank you guys for watching. We
Thank
hope
you.
that this helps you to learn more about your horse and things that are going on.